Living my best life. I ain't going back and forth with you and just listen, people of God. I want to tell you something. For you that are experiencing a lot of opposition and stuff like that, understand that that's necessary. Don't let yourself succumb to that opposition because your ability, your ability to press through and make it through uh, the lion's den, the valley, make it overcome the trials and tribulations, all the fiery darts that are being thrown at you. See, all of that's qualifying you for what's soon to come, for what you are about to inherit, you know? So the way that some things used to have you upset in your feelings, it don't feel good, having to live through and experience certain things, but take a lot of that stuff and don't let it pull your whole countenance down. Still go back and find your joy, find your happy place. Don't think that um, the whole world is against you. You're just going through what's necessary for you to make it, to have even greater, to have even more. Like, for example, let me break down what I'm give you an example from the Bible, right? Because that's the foundation. That's what we all of us generational curse breakers. Many are called, few are chosen. And if you chosen, you're gonna go through something, but understand what you're experiencing now. You see the stuff that really tried to take you out prematurely, all of that, you overcome all of that. People know you overcame all of that. See, when Job, in the book of Job, which is what I was reading this morning in the Sefer, it's called him Iyov. But in the book of Iyov, Job, see, all of his friends, the scripture starts out and it gives you the narrative of who Job really is, right? And in the scriptures, it tells us, now Job was an upright man, perfect in all of his ways. So basically, he was pleasing to the Father. The Father favored Job. He built a wall of protection around Job. And Job was blessed. His children was blessed. Job was an upright man. But then he loved his children, loved his family. But he also, and he didn't know what his grown children was doing in their free time. But he said, perhaps if they ever do anything to sin, he tried to cover his children. And good morning. And so he would give sacrificial offerings if his children have done anything. He wanted to be fully in the right with God, right? Oh, glory. Wish we had fathers and people like that. But he always covered his children. And in the book of Job, what I want you to understand is some of your opposition, I don't want you to let that keep you in a down place. Be joyful. If you see all that the enemy is doing, sometimes you got to get out the house, or sometimes you got to go and do something. You ain't got to always make yourself available to people that invite you, because the enemy is very calculated, like I shared in a video this morning. But you can do your own thing. You can do something that puts you in a happy place and be joyful. Don't let the opposition wear you down, but let it, how can I say it? Notice it, pay attention to it, and understand, read the signs. You're close to it. You're close to that thing that you never experienced before. Some of you are going to be first time generational. You're going to create generational wealth for your family line. Some of the very people that was fighting against you, and that makes it seem like it's so hard for them to just give you an encouraging word. You're going to help some of them same people. Some of you are going to get married, and you're going to stay married to death do us part. And it ain't going to be no premature death. You're going to have one of them old-fashioned, old-time married, where you stay together and you love each other, where you have arguments and you get back together. It's going to be one of them things, and people going to be clinging to your marriage, and y'all going to be like, we ain't no marriage counselors, but people going to love to be around you. You're going to set the example because it's in your heart. It's in your spirit, You're going to get married. You're going to stay married. And you're going to have one of them funny marriages. What they don't know won't hurt them. You ain't going to have them running out. You both are going to love each other. See what I'm saying? Some of you are about to reach that point. So think it not strange if you constantly meeting all kind of demonic opposite sex come in your path, and you maybe start feeling a little discouraged. No. Be in a happy place. Whatever it is, whatever the adversary is trying to meet you at, whatever you're experiencing, don't let it drain your energy. Let me get back to what I mean by Job. See, sometimes people ain't gonna understand all your opposition. They may look at you like you a problem maker, or they may start saying, "Yeah, you going through all that because what you done did." Like in the book of Job, if you read the first few chapters, started with his old friend, who was it, Bildad? I think that's his name, Bildad or whatever. When he saw Job after the enemy had his chance at Job. See, when all the angels came to report, Satan came back up with them, and it was God said, because he already knew his Job's heart was good. But see, Satan used to be an angel too, and God says, "Have you considered my subject Job, my servant Job?" It was God who asked Satan, have he considered? God know the mind and heart of Satan. He still ain't got no good in him. And he know Job was a good man, but he say, "Oh, that's only because you build a hedge of protection around him." See? Satan is a jealous person. He ain't the chosen one, but he wanna be. He only did that because he only honor you because you build a wall of protection around him. He got everything he wants. So if a man have, and I'm just paraphrasing, I'm just talking now. But if a man have everything he want, then why wouldn't they serve you or something? You know what I'm saying? So he challenging God. So God says, very well. And he said, give me a chance at him. I bet you he'll curse you to your face and die. That's what he wanted Job to do. He wanted Job to give up on God. He wanted Job to say, this thing is too hard for me. God, I serve you all this time, and this how you let me end up? Man, please. You can't be real if you got me out here going through this. Child of God, how many of you in that valley? How many of you experiencing something so hard? Have you cursed God? Have you got to the point where you got so fed up and you say, I'm wondering, is he really real? You playing into the hands of the devil. And I ain't just talking it. Oh, I've been through some hard stuff. There's one person close to me that know a lot of hard stuff that I've been through. Even this past week, I ain't share everything because I ain't gonna glorify. I'm taking it like a soldier. I'm walking it out. I've been through some hard stuff, something very trying, and I kept my mouth shut. And y'all ain't see me post on here a few days. I kept shut and kept praying. See, I ain't gonna use my mouth to curse myself. I ain't gonna let him win against my father. I know who the battle is against. So see, if you go through something real hard and you still hold on to your faith, hold on, baby. Keep holding on. Trust me. God is proving you. God said, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. You got to know. You got to know and hear that word is true. The just must live by faith. Your faith is tried by fire. What fire you experiencing? See? That's what Satan wanted Job to do. Doubt God, curse God. Now, Job did complain. Go and read it in and out. But I want to really point out something, his old hypocrite friend. See, just because folk in the church, just because folk might go to church on a regular basis, and I ain't throwing no shade at nobody. Don't get offended with me. Don't get easily offended with your little country bunker sister. You go to church every Sunday. I ain't talking about everybody who go to church every Sunday. But if you know if you understand where I'm coming from, you know we got a lot of people who they do they have they keep up with the traditions of things, but they deny the power thereof. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. We got some that stay in there every Sunday and can't relate to nobody. Can't relate to nobody. And so that's the type of friends Job had. And this one Bildad, when he saw what Satan did to Job, because when Satan had a chance at Job, he went back to back to back to back to back to back until he put that man, take everything that man had, the children that he loved, the animals that he had, and put them right there on the bed of affliction. He ain't touched that little weaker vessel. He knew he could get in her while Job, see, he saved her while Job was on that bed of affliction. And then he jumped in her through whatever open door she had in her life and caused her to move her mouth reckless. When Job on his bed of affliction after that man done going through all that, got all these hypocrites, church folks, religiously coming to his bedside, eloquently speaking, going back and forth with him, telling him, well, surely you can't be all that upright. It's something you have done. You've done something wrong, and then he explained himself and he complained, oh, I cursed the day I die. They ain't giving this man no hope, just going back and forth with this man while he going through. How many you got people like that around you? It's a test. Bind up them spirit. Rebuke them spirit that using them people close to you to open their mouth to keep trying to frustrate you. Anybody got somebody that come around you? You know they kind of love you, but they come around you and they say things to frustrate you. Then when they see you getting frustrated, you look at them, you see a smile on their face. That's the evil spirit inside of them. They got open doors to their soul. See, he always keep that one close to you. What he used Job's wife to say, just go ahead and curse God and die. His own wife told him that. The weak vessel. And I ain't saying the woman is always the weak vessel when it comes to spiritual thing. We know that a man and woman body is built different. A man is built stronger. The man brothers got strong muscles. That you're built stronger than a woman physically. But I'm talking about spiritually now. She's weak because she had an open door to her soul to let the enemy get in her mind and use her words to bring more grief to her husband's spirit. See, words can kill your spirit. So now he keep going back. It's making his spirit weaker. But God knew he ain't been gonna let him die. It ain't been gonna be enough to kill him. See, because he already told Satan. Satan ain't got permission to kill you. That's why many of you still alive. See, God said, very well have at him, but don't touch his soul. See, his soul belonged to God. God already knew what he was gonna do to Job. And that no good Bildad keep going back and forth with him. The first one talked to him, telling him, surely you can't be all that. I might read it when I get home tonight. I was gonna have an early day today, but then I thought about it. I left out this morning, and I was like, no, I'm gonna just work. I had some people that wanted to send me a contract to do something. I was like, sure. So I'll get out and do a little more work than I expected. But what I'm trying to say is, Job's faith was tested, and to me, it was tested in the worst way. But our ways are not God's ways, because I wouldn't want his children, even though, like, now I understand more about life and leaving this earth, the death of the flesh and leaving the earth. So to God, it's nothing for him to, for our body, flesh to die and the soul to come back. But for man, that's very hard to deal with because you don't know. You understand? If you don't have knowledge, the way I deal with death now, I don't look at death the same way I used to look at death when my grandmother passed. When my grandmother passed, that hurt me for a very long time. I was a young girl. That hurt so bad, and I still get teary-eyed when certain folk leave the earth, especially those who leave that are in Christ. Like when my miracle aunt left, I miss her presence so much because when those who are in Christ leave, that love, that love and that spirit, you want more of those type of spirit in the earth. You understand? You want more of those in the earth with you. But anyway, what was I saying? So, wait a minute. Okay, so what I was saying was Job had to be tested. His faith was tried by fire, and maybe seemed like he was tested in a worse way. But God already knew what the end result was going to be. Job just didn't know. And he had all them little hypocrite friends coming arguing with him. Ain't nobody laid hands on Job. They ain't had no power in them. They ain't had no knowledge themselves. And just to go to show you, to back up what I'm saying, them little hypocrite friends, because when God finally showed up, and if you go to the last 2-3 chapters of the Bible, when Job had a direct encounter with God, pretty much God showed up on the scene in so many words. He said, shut up, be a man, get up. He talked to Job kind of harshly, but like, ain't I the one who, I'm the supreme God? And I'm paraphrasing so many words he's saying, I'm all powerful. He's explaining to God who he is and all of this, because Job was cursing the day he came out of his mother's womb. He was complaining, going back and forth. And he didn't know what to do, but his heart never cursed God. He never disrespected God. And that's what the enemy wanted him to do. Those no good hypocrite friends was sent there. They was to frustrate him. How many people trying to frustrate you? See, that's why I say, understand, see who the devil using. Just move around them. Move around them. And go and be in a happy place. Go and be in a joyful place. You winning. But when you react the way you used to go off, the way you used to act, they got something on you. See? Don't give him nothing. He already an accuser. Don't give him nothing on you regardless of who he used. Don't get too mad at the people. Just move around them. Maybe one day they'll change. But see, them friends were supposed to frustrate Job. That wife was supposed to crush his spirit, but he still ain't died. And see, when Job talked to God, he tell him, forgive me. He only know what he had heard about God, what he taught. See, whenever, I don't care who you are, I don't care what you did, you could have been the biggest drug dealer, you could have been the biggest pimp, you could have been the biggest whore in these streets. When you have an encounter with God, you will never be the same. Your life will never be the same. And you ain't got to, people ever say, why that lady hollering over there? You ain't got to know the Bible front and back. That by knowing the word to strengthen you in your walk is meant for you to, that's the tool that's meant to strengthen you as you grow, but you ain't even got to know it front and back. See, when you have a direct encounter, he gonna open your eyes to something when nobody can pull you from it. That's what happened to me years ago. See, spiritually, fighting off all these attacks. When God spoke to me, I was in Motel 6 on 2 Notch Road one time. Big, strong witchcraft curse was sent after me. I was being tormented in that hotel. I think I shared it on here a while back. I heard the voice of God. I couldn't sleep. Restless. Every time I tried to lay down, I heard that voice say, open the window. Speak to it. Speak to it. I knew what was bothering me. I didn't know those were the same spirits, fear, anxiety, all them spirits coming, tagging up on me, sent after me. An innocent young girl. I was in college at that time. But listen, hey, I want you to know something. Continue to press your way through. Your faith is being tried by fire. Don't let that opposition pull you down. Don't keep your mind thinking. You have the power to control your thoughts control your feelings. Jesus said all things are possible to them that believe. God is going to give you every desire that he placed in your heart. It's a righteous desire. You need it. He's going to elevate you. But you got to believe in your mind. Believe in that which is not seen. That is faith. In spite of what you are experiencing, let that opposition be your confirmation. Don't let it pull your countenance down. Don't let it steal your joy. See, after Job had that encounter with God at the very end of all his trial, all that suffering in that bed where he lost his health, his skin was even peeling up and coming off, he was restored. Not only did he receive restoration, see, the Bible says I will restore the years that the locusts and the cankerworms and the palmer worms I've sent to eat up. So he received restoration, but he received double for his trouble. Oh, glory. Come on now. Come on now. He received double for his trouble. I got to get out here too because time is running around. I ain't want to finish my work, but I got to do too late. But I got to get off here. He received double for his trouble. So understand all that opposition. Don't get so upset when you see religious folk who, have the form of godliness. They ain't understanding what you're going through. They still putting their mouth on you. They don't understand spiritual warfare. The Bible said, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, the powers of darkness, spiritual wickedness in high places. See, some folk got a form of godliness. They deny the power thereof. Then they see God working through. I mean, miraculous things happen. A lot of folk can't receive the miracles of God because they don't even believe. Do you know that there's some folk who call themselves Christians and they don't believe that miracles still happen in the earth? But anyway, let me get off here. Have a blessed day. Don't let that opposition steal your joy and pull you down. Count it all joy. Have a blessed day.